John immediately frowned. Was this Troy asking to die? He actually started taking revenge on Elise so quickly.
I hit him. It has nothing to do with you. I will settle this.
John spoke directly.
No.
Elise shook her head and said with bloodshot eyes.
Don't look for him, he will kill you.
This idiot was very vicious and wouldn't let John off for sure.
Also, my parents must not know about this, otherwise they will definitely chase you out.
As long as John stayed in her house, Troy wouldn't dare to come in and hurt him. If he got chased out, then Troy would definitely get back at John.
It's just a job anyway. If I can't work at Dawson Group anymore, I will look for something else.
Elise managed to smile. Then she took a deep breath and went to update her resume. John didn't say anything. There was nothing he could say to this kind girl. The one thing he could do was to make those who bullied her pay the price for doing so. John took out his phone to send a short text. It was very short, but extremely murderous. Troy was gloating now. Once he got this project signed, then his position in the Dawson family would rise by another level. He was going to be the next heir to the Dawson family, and that was only right. His hand was still bandaged as he made his way to the Hiddleston Group office with the contract.
I am looking for CEO Hiddleston to sign the contract.
Troy's head was tilted upwards as he walked towards the reception, a look of arrogance on his face.
Hello, sir. Do you have an appointment with the CEO?
I am the general manager of Dawson Group, Troy Dawson. We have already discussed this project with CEO Hiddleston for a long time now. And we are signing the contract today.
Troy was displeased. She was just a receptionist. Why did she have so many questions?
I am really sorry, CEO Hiddleston will not see anyone without an appointment.
The receptionist smiled calmly.
I said, I am the general manager of Dawson Group.
I am really sorry, I only know Miss Elise from Dawson Group. CEO Hiddleston has given instructions to allow Miss Elise to go upstairs directly if she comes. But he will not see anyone else.
She could go upstairs without question, while he didn't have the right to even see CEO Hiddleston? Why? Troy thought to himself.
This is a big project, so if it's delayed, are you able to bear the responsibility? I can't be bothered with you, I will go up myself.
Troy turned to go inside. He had just walked 2 steps out, and a threatening voice sounded behind him.
It's just a small project, I can still afford to lose this.
CEO Hiddleston was here. Troy immediately put on a big smile and instantly changed his tone of voice.
CEO Hiddleston, whatever are you talking about? I was just joking. This may be a small project to you, but to Dawson Group, this is a huge project.
He hurriedly ran over and looked very respectful.
I have brought the contract over today, I am not sure if CEO Hiddleston.
When did I say I was going to sign with Dawson Group?
CEO Hiddleston frowned instead. Troy was caught off guard. He blurted out.
Hasn't Elise already discussed it with you?
That's right, Elise has discussed everything with me. So if a contract has to be signed, I will sign it with her. Who are you?
Troy became angrier. He was the eldest grandson of the Dawsons. The general manager of Dawson Group, and CEO Hiddleston asked who he was?
I don't care who you are. For this project, I will only sign with Elise.
CEO Hiddleston's face darkened and a dozen security guards immediately came running over.
Nobody else has the right to sign anything with me. See him out.
Troy started getting anxious. If he lost this project, he'd get beaten to death when he got home. To CEO Hiddleston, it was a small project. But to the Dawsons, this huge project could change their fate.
Why, you want to make a scene?
CEO Hiddleston turned and glared at Troy, then his face suddenly became serious.
Throw him out.
Before Troy could react, all the security guards grabbed him and threw him out of the main door.
Ow, ow.
Troy yelped from the pain coming from his injured hand. When had he suffered such terrible treatment before? How could he have been chased out like this?
Elise! Damn you, Elise! I am gonna kill you.
Troy's face was all red, and his frustration became rage when he saw many passers-by staring at him.
Looks like something shady is going on between you and this CEO Hiddleston.
If not, why would CEO Hiddleston only sign the contract with Elise and not him? Elise had been fired by them, so there was no way Elise was going to come here. But what if the deal fell through? Troy was furious, but he could only clutch the contract and look for Jerome immediately. At this time, CEO Hiddleston was on the top floor of his office, making a call very humbly.
Brother Charlie, I have already done as you told me. I am not sure which important person was able to ask Brother Charlie for such a favor.
His face was filled with great respect and even some reverence, the total opposite of how he treated Troy earlier.
He's my boss. He didn't ask me for a favor. I am just carrying out his instructions. Get it?
The voice coming out from the phone made CEO Hiddleston's body tremble violently. He immediately nodded.
I got it.
Brother Charlie was terrifying beyond his imagination already. So if this was Brother Charlie's boss, that was equivalent to the boss of his boss, how frightening he must be. He dared not even think about it.
Think harder.
Charlie continued. Howard Hiddleston froze. This wasn't the right answer? But it was Charlie who had helped to point him in the right direction so that he could gain the advantage at several important stages, setting his foundation well so that he could advance to where he was today. Without Charlie's guidance, Howard Hiddleston knew he would never have done it. Suddenly, he gulped and his voice started trembling.
It's Brother Charlie's boss?
At least you were pretty smart.
Charlie continued.
With one word, he can give you everything. Similarly, with one word, he can take away everything you have. You get my meaning?
I got it.
Howard Hiddleston immediately replied.
Thank you, Brother Charlie, for your guidance. I will make sure to do well.
Charlie didn't say any more and hung up. Howard Hiddleston felt his legs go weak. So he walked over to the sofa and sat down heavily on it as he exhaled a long breath out. There was cold sweat all over his forehead from his nervousness. So the one behind him was actually that big boss. And it was because of just one word from him. He was where he was today. What sort of crazy power was this? He finally calmed down after a long time. But the shock deep inside his heart did not lessen. In his mind, this boss of his boss had no face. But his mere existence was enough for him to bow down and worship.
Looks like Elise is connected to Big Boss. Jerome and his son are just waiting to die.
CEO Hiddleston took a deep breath and tried to suppress the shock in his heart.
This marks the end of Chapter 4. I hope you guys are enjoying my work. If you do, please subscribe to my channel and comment for any suggestions or any other novel you all want to be featured here.